is up, everyone?
You fucking retard, dude.
Yeah, what the hell, Yuli? You just ruined it all.
You literally ruined the podcast first
You
episode.
now we can't do a fucking podcast anymore.
What
dude.
the
You
hell,
fucked it up
Yuli?
too
God
early.
damn
Can't
it.
even do anything
Goddamn
with
it,
you,
Yuli.
dude. Come on.
Yuli. My name's Robert, and
All right, that's enough. Shut up.
I'm
Shut your ass up.
I like it's
What? Wait.
Wait.
Wait a
Wait a
second.
second. What?
Hold up.
next person, Jackson. You're next.
Hi, I'm Jackson, and I'm just terrified of Alaska.
What?
He's
Alaska?
black, by the way.
Oh yeah, Jackson's our. He's our. We had a fucking. The HR department wanted us to have like a quota on like.
It's my only redeemable trait.
All right. My name's Dublin. Yeah, that's about it. Cock.
That's
You
amazing.
beautiful.
Cats have
Kobe.
Yeah, my name's Colby. There ain't much to me. This is all.
Shut the fuck up, Kobe.
This is all he does.
Okay.
Can cats have salami?
No.
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 Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
a little
no,
bit.
yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Okay. No. Yeah, no, they can.
Guys, let me introduce myself.
Yeah, all right, Patty, go ahead. Yeah, fuck you.
I'm Patty, aka Patty Tarkov Espinoza.
Oh my god. All right. Shut the fuck up.
God, my nuts fucking hurt, dude.
Cringe.
It's fucking crazy, bro. Like it's so stupid how people are reacting. In my opinion, I get that it's bad and everything, but I think it's an overreaction.
Yeah, I just feel like it's. I just feel like all the like paranoia around it is just like making it a lot more.
Almost definitely. Yeah.
Like everybody just fucking just stocks up on all the shit when they don't need to, making it harder for everyone else to get supplies.
Like that may be bad,
Yeah,
but
I
all
agree.
these years of watching Doomsday Preppers paid off. Also, since
Exactly.
everything's closed, that means that daycares are closed, and that means that where a child molester is gonna go to get children to have sex with.
Whoa.
yo, he's got a good point
okay.
there.
Actually, I think you have a point there, Patty.
Fuck.
Anyway,
God damn it, dude.
I feel like
Oh my
She's
god,
kinda
bro.
scared as fuck.
I feel like you're right, Patty. Where are they gonna go?
Where are they gonna go?
Like,
They can't go to parks.
Yeah, parks are closed.
Parks
Crazy.
are closed.
Yo, I mean, here's the thing, dude. There's still kids playing out on the street, though. So you can literally just pull up in a fucking van.
You know that.
Their parents probably won't even want them to go outside.
bro, you just gotta
I
walk.
literally said I like underage kids, bro.
What?
Goddamn.
Who said that? Wait a minute,
I'm pretty sure YouTube has guidelines.
Robert. It's not YouTube, dude. It's
Dude, we gotta
worse.
do actual
I'm
Twitch
trying to
mods on this
Not
chat.
that we're posting this to YouTube.
I'm just trying to get fucking kids, bro.
Dude, masturbating, honestly.
Always.
Dude, I just get so sad whenever I like look at it. Like,
Can we
I
have
just
an
become, like,
actual conversation? Like, why
This
is
is
this
an actual
so fucking
conversation.
weird?
It's
Shut the
a
fuck
real
up, Jake.
conversation.
Like, all I'm saying is like I'm like about to go down, do my little, and like and I'll just look at it and I get so sad, like like what the hell? Why am I at this point in my life where I'm like masturbating like 5 times a day just to have some serotonin?
Oh my god, you beat your dick,
Bro.
Bro, okay, that's a bit much, dude. I thought I had
Alright,
Jesus
right.
Christ.
Dude. Okay, yo. So I feel like at first, because of the fact that we were like stuck here for 2 weeks, it was like, oh, chill. Like I could do whatever the fuck I want. So I mean, you do that, and I feel like it just gets old after a while. I think that's
So
it.
yeah, is this what adulthood is like, Patty?
Well, I think that no matter what they're doing, the only thing that they're not doing right now is they're not doing your mom, doing your mom,
Wait, I actually have an input on this. I actually have an input
That
on
was that was awful. That was the worst joke I've been.
this. I
that was
genuinely
bad.
have an input on this. Wait, hold on.
He going.
That is
Wait,
been removed.
Wait.
I'm gonna go play Tarkov right now.
Fuck you, bro. Okay, I know that was an awful 2012.
Really,
joke,
nigga?
but come on, bro.
I was actually wait.
I feel like what's Patty was starting to say before he interjected that wonderful meme. I think no matter what people do, there's it's never gonna be enough. There's always just gonna be this certain point where either people could it's all about perspective because in a sense I think the government is doing a lot right now for what they I mean, there's a lot of people that feel like they could be doing more. I just feel like no matter what they do, somebody's always going to complain that they aren't doing enough.
Well, not only that, I think
Yeah.
it's because a lot of the stuff is done behind closed doors and not really exposed to the public. That that it just gives a sense that look, they're not doing jack shit when it comes to this stuff. So, I mean,
Okay,
Hell yeah, they're
did you
doing a
guys
lot.
see the bill that was passed though? About the
no.
trying to stimulate the government or the economy?
heard about that. I don't know the specifics about it.
It's oh god, I don't. Let me look it up. But yeah, it's crazy. Basically, what happened was that they implemented a bill to put 2 trillion or 2 billion, I can't remember now, dollars into the economy to help bring it back up.
Yeah, $2 trillion. They're
Oh,
giving
yeah.
they signed off on this thing where they're it's a one-time payment of $1,200 to almost to every taxpayer.
Mm-hmm.
That means me and Robert and I think Colby.
Yeah. But basically, from what I read, it's basically gonna be like a debt or a loan process.
Really?
Really?
What the fuck?
Yeah,
That's bullshit.
because otherwise they're just giving out money to the public, and that's
Yeah. I mean, it
Kinda.
man, I don't know how to feel about that.
But I mean, it's still
Shit, I don't
going
wanna
back
say
into the
anything.
economy, which was the whole point.
yeah. Well, did you
I mean-
Oh, go ahead, Robert.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the whole comment about being vague. I don't give 2 shits about who's the fuck's in office, but it's this is such a new thing that you really don't have any choice but to really kind of be vague because it's you don't. This is I was even when I was talking to Rick earlier, he was saying is look, I'm old, but I've never in my life ever experienced something to this degree, something this big.
No one has. No, none of us.
Yeah, people were comparing this to the 2004 SARS outbreak. It's almost nothing like that.
Speaking of kind of misinformation, dude, have you guys seen? Hold up, sorry, bro. I got. Have you guys seen all of those fucking? I don't know. I've just been seeing a lot of shit on social media where people are trying to find cures for this shit, and a lot of them have to do with multi-level marketing shit. So
Yeah.
Herbalife,
fuck
and they're
that shit.
saying,
Here, wait. I want to interject. It's people are saying they can't hear you, Yuli, and I'm listening to it as well, and I can't hear you as well.
you seem to be kind of cutting out a lot, man.
Yeah, but it
okay.
just no in the the live stream, can't hear him.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, someone says they want to donate, bro. Why the fuck
What-
can it donate?
You can't.
What?
You can't. We don't have a PayPal set up or anything, or
Yeah.
bits
Oh,
or anything like that.
Should.
I mean, I can set up
you
my
can
bank
subscribe
account.
to our OnlyFans.
I mean, yeah, I can see it in my bank account.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
How
kind
did
of
I
in
have-
debt right now. I could use some.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
mic problems, but I fixed it. You should be able to hear me now.
and Frank said that half of us he can't hear, cuts out so much.
Cuts out so much.
Bro, that's all on Yuli's end, bro.
You guys aren't
Yeah.
cutting out for me, so that must just be streams.
Oh, you
Yeah.
just keep them out, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not great.
This is your fault, Yuli.
Fuck you, Yuli.
Oh
Fuck
god
off,
damn it, you
sorry.
stupid bastard.
Idiot.
Stupid
Who
bastard.
actually has a not garbage fucking PC that they
Yeah,
can
how is
stream
this
this on?
working? What?
I
I
think
have
it
a
is.
great
That's the-
PC, man.
That's all I'm hearing.
Hold on.
It's not too bad.
He's the BlackBerry of fucking computers, bro.
All right, hold on.
I could hear you mostly okay.
Yeah.
dude.
I don't know. It just cut. It probably just cut out. That's how it is. None of us have great internet, so
Okay, but
no.
yeah. Well, yeah. All right. It should be
Whatever.
good now. You should be able to hear me. Damn it, that's annoying.
Yeah. But anyways, I found the bill. So basically, this is what it says. The 888-page Corona Aid Relief and Economic Security Act. The U.S. Senate passed last night, 96 votes to 0. Amounts to
Wow.
the biggest fiscal stimulus in American history.
Damn.
That's
Holy
crazy.
crap. Yeah. Which is
Robert
roughly
is
9% of the
gone.
gross domestic product. So it's designed to provide a total spending boost of about $2 trillion, which is roughly 9% of the gross domestic product. As a comparison, the Obama stimulus package that was passed in 2009 was about 4.5%. Holy crap. That's crazy. I'm trying to find like how they're like what they're talking about, how splitting it up.
Shit.
Yeah. We hear. Yeah, I don't know. Should I move on? Next question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
Or should we wait on you, Kobe?
No, go ahead. I haven't found anything.
What do you guys think the right measures are? Like, what do you think should? What measures do you think should be taken?
What do
Okay.
you mean? Okay. All right, Colby, go ahead.
Well, okay, in my opinion, I feel like, if I'm being genuinely honest, I feel like what they're doing right now with like breaking up the like making everyone stay inside, I feel like that's actually smart. Even though I hate it because I want to go do stuff, I feel like it is the smartest decision because it. Oh, go ahead, Dealey.
No, you go ahead. You're just talking.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, I just think that it is smart that they are doing that because it will flatten the curve and stuff like that. Even though it does suck, it's the smartest way to get rid of this as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because there's not a whole lot that we can do. Because like this is pretty much the best measure. There's nothing really more that you could do, and it does suck, like you were saying, that you can't go out. But it just makes sense because we need to stop the spread as much as possible, so they can come up with a cure. The
Yeah,
scientists
exactly.
working on the cure.
I'm gonna be fucking honest, man. When I heard that this shit could be like airborne, like even up to 3, they said up to 3 hours, but even that, dude, you just imagine how much damage that could do. That's just like when I heard about that shit, dude, that
And
freaked me
yeah,
fuck out, bro. Like
the
holy
biggest
shit.
problem is that it's not the people that it can affect, it's people that don't get affected by it as easily and get like they're like, oh well, I won't get affected, why should it matter if I stay?
Yeah. So they don't
Yeah.
take the same precautions that everyone else is taking.
Exactly, because if someone that won't show symptoms gets it, they're just going to keep going around doing their daily business, and then they spread it to people that can get affected by it, and that's
No,
what,
man,
like,
that's the thing. It's like I agree with everything that Kate Brown is saying and shit. Like, not saying that I'm like, in support or against her or something like that, but I do believe that, like, she's just doing her job and she doesn't get that she shouldn't really get a lot of the shit that a lot of people are giving her. Because, like, look,
Yeah.
in reality, with this whole thing going on, we were gonna get to this point eventually. No, I was trying to turn this
For
into
sure.
a political thing, but shit, where was I going with this? Fuck, dude, I just lost my fucking train of thought, bro.
it happens, bro.
God damn it. What were we talking about?
You're talking about Kate Brown.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to get stuck on the Kate Brown thing, dude.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the whole like I understand why everything's being done. Like I feel like the biggest like problem people have with it is just like the inconvenience it has with people's lives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was gonna say.
Like all
Double or something.
Yeah, what it's like all about, like the point is just flatten the curve. Like it's not to like just put a stop to it; it's to slow it down so it gives researchers and professionals time to, and healthcare professionals time to deal with it. Like the healthcare system, they don't want to be overloaded with all these people, and they can't treat them, and they're they depend on the researchers to get more information on that stuff. But so they can actually like tell what they're dealing with before like the whole situation just gets even more out of hand.
Yeah, dude, it's scary too. It's just man.
No.
In Spain, dude. No, go ahead, Yuli.
No,
You're
no,
good,
go
bro.
ahead. No, you're
No, I was just gonna say, like, look, it's not really adding on to anything. I was gonna say, like, Spain, like, I got an aunt that lives out in Spain, and they're completely confined, for the most part, completely confined to their like little apartment. Like, no one's on the street, and they live in a kind of like beach town. So like people go there for summer vacation and stuff like that, and it's like completely desolate. Like whenever we video chat with her, she's like showing us out, like, oh, it's really beautiful, but there's like no one out there, and he has to keep my uncle inside because, like, he's a fairly active guy, or like for his age and stuff like that. So he'll go out for walks, and like she has to like keep him from doing that shit. And it's just like, God damn, dude, it's crazy how much this has kind of put a stop to what we consider normal life.
Yeah,
and the thing that's
like,
go
ahead, bro.
And the thing that's getting the people the most is being inside. So like all of these people, these big celebrities who are so used to being out in public, or these common people who are used to being out in public, are just now not having the opportunity.
I'm done. Is someone gonna speak?
What do you?
Oh.
What do you mean? Is someone gonna speak? Jackson
I was just talking.
I was waiting for someone else to speak, dude. I was gonna say something.
Jackson was talking.
I was just talking.
Couldn't fucking hear Jackson, dude.
Oh, he's talking right now.
Oh wow,
hear Jackson, dude.
Weird.
Back to Jackson's train of thought. Let's go back.
Kicking Robert for racism.
I guess colors do matter.
What the hell?
What were you saying, Jackson,
Robert?
before you were so rudely interrupted?
Well, I was saying how it's causing lots of celebrities to say shit that they don't mean, or to lose their minds. Like Vanessa Hudgens was saying some pretty fucked up shit about coronavirus in general. And I don't think she meant it. I think she was just trying to represent the fact that she was so bothered by being inside all the time. Like these people they're meant to be noticed by everyone.
Fuck you, celebrities.
So here's the thing: is humans are so
celebrities.
innately afraid of change for some reason, right? Like that's why racism's a thing. That's sexism, all that.
Whoa.
But that's what what I mean, right? Because people are just afraid that this is gonna like change their lives forever. They don't like the fact that their life is being so drastically changed by this virus. So that's why you see a lot of people ignoring it and still going out in public, and more populated cities, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at it like the other day. Like a lot of like researchers are saying stuff like that. If anything, life will only slightly get back to normal by like mid-July. Like, so
I know, I'm so scared.
People
about
thinking
that,
like by May that it's gonna be fine. We're gonna, everything's gonna be great.
Oh my god.
No, you're gonna have
Did
to
you guys hear?
Adjust yourself.
Yeah. Did you guys hear what Trump tweeted about?
No.
He basically said outright, he's like, "Oh, by mid-April, we'll be back to good, and we'll have everything open back up."
That is not what healthcare professionals have been saying.
No, they've been saying quite the opposite. Some have been saying it's going to be backed up until late August.
I'm so scared about that.
Some say like it will only like maybe be anywhere close to being sort of normal by maybe next winter. Like that's
God, I hope not, dude. Like
so
many people that have trips planned. That's just like me. I have a trip planned for Hawaii in June, and that might not happen.
Yeah, it probably won't. If we're being honest here, like any like plans you think or summer vacations, and I think that like that'll kind of go like you see how like on the media where like you see all those people saying like, I don't care, man. If I get it, I get it. Whatever.
Yep.
Like I feel like there's might be a rise in that.
Yeah, me too.
If the longer this goes on, the more gravity of the situation will hit people. I think, if it's going to be going on for like 6 more months, which it could possibly be.
Yeah, people are going to start going crazy
by the end of that. And it will only go longer if people keep ignoring, social distancing.
Yeah, and I think the government's fully aware of that. And so I've heard rumors, they're probably not true, but I've heard rumors that the National Guard is being deployed in some
that's
cities.
real.
That's real. That part's real. But some were saying because they're afraid they're gonna like deploy martial law where you can't leave your house at all. And I don't know if that's actually gonna happen. That's just these
I
are
don't
just
see that
rumors.
happening.
But
neither do I.
I feel
something
like a
along
lot of
those lines.
people would disagree with that.
It's very of
Yeah.
course, obviously, because people would riot. That's what I'm saying, and I think it's a very real possibility if because of people being like, this is stupid, I can't take this anymore, and just leaving their houses all at once, where they kind of have to say, okay, this is now a big problem where most people are leaving their houses, and the police are just like, we can't arrest every single person.
Yep.
And that's when it would have to it would have to resort to a law like that, like martial law.
Yeah, well, in Italy, they have a curfew set now, and you have to have papers to legally leave your house, saying that
in
you're
France
is
too.
mandatory.
In France too, yeah.
In France, yeah.
No,
It's
crazy.
All right, hold up. I don't know. Tell me if Jackson's talking because I still can't hear him.
He's
Dude.
not. No, you're good. Go ahead.
He's not. Okay. All right. Has there been anyone that has gone and said let's say theoretically in a perfect world where everyone is following this whole social distancing thing, has anybody said in a matter how long will it take for this whole coronavirus thing to go away if everyone again in a perfect world where everyone stayed away 6 feet away from everyone, has there been any?
Yeah, they do have the statistics. Actually, they do.
Yeah.
Still several months. Yeah.
Can someone pull them up?
Yeah. Can someone pull them up? Send them to the.
Let me find the link.
Yeah. Send the link.
So okay, do you guys want to know the numbers of the cases right now?
Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
Right now, the global corona case by cases globally is 532,224.
Jesus.
The deaths are 24,087. The recovered.
Did you know
this
that
is what? Okay.
New York's cases are doubling every 3 weeks.
So yeah, I know. Every couple days, certain countries
or every 3
are doubling.
days, not 3 weeks. Every 3 days, the cases in New York are doubling.
Yep, that's what I've been here too.
Yep.
But you want to know what? This is what me and my friend were talking about the other day. You want to know what the media isn't covering?
What?
The number of recoveries.
That is true because they want us to be scared.
Exactly. That's the reason there's so much hysteria, though, is because they are not talking about the cases and the recoveries. Even though I get there's a lot of deaths, and that is definitely something not to be messing around about. But there are 124,326 recoveries.
But here's the thing. Here, the news wants you to be scared because if you're scared, you're gonna watch the news and you're gonna buy. You're gonna
exactly.
And they have links with these stores. They have links with these stores, right? So if you're scared, you're also gonna buy like these people are. They're hoarding because they're scared of a quarantine, right?
Yeah, and I think that's what I think a lot of people don't realize is what they do this when you just buy everything out of the stores. They're I know I have friends who are in these situations where you don't have, you're living on food stamps and the stickers that you have to use, when people there are certain items in the store that they just have access to, they have the monthly thing where they can go into the store and certain things have that tag on them for that, and then people just come in and just buy all of that. So even even if you have money, you can't buy anything, but especially with the people that don't have anything at all, literally have no access to anything.
Yeah,
sure.
It sucks.
And it's just crazy and scary to see and witness how many people just, aren't really living. They can't. They're just stuck in this limbo of not knowing what to do.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Did you guys also hear that U.S. Surpassed China in the number of total cases?
No, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
U.S. has the most cases now.
Well,
the thing is,
we have
there's
one
so
of the
many
biggest populations.
Yeah.
Plus, some states haven't even gotten their testers yet.
Yeah.
Jackson,
some states don't have testers, and some states haven't done any.
Hey, you're not racist anymore.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't trust the fact that I don't think that's like true, bro. Like, 'cause I swear China's definitely lying about their stats, bro.
Oh yeah,
No,
definitely.
no,
I feel like
no,
They
but
were
like
they
they're
were most.
recovering though. That's the thing.
Oh yeah,
That's
definitely they are.
Uh,
no, they have almost more recoveries than cases
yeah.
now.
you know, I
But
think
when they
about,
okay, when they say
Especially
total
in the beginning,
cases,
they
are
were
they?
covering up this shit, and
like I feel like the thing
wouldn't be
about like
surprised if they still
China
are.
is like since it's like why people like what started a lot of this paranoia is like people saw like the death rate was like the people that had died were in like the tens of thousands, right? You've got to realize that like you know how massive the population of China is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it's huge. So that was like barely even like 3% of their population. Like
Just the yeah.
and
But
like you
that's
got to
close.
realize like the area like Wuhan, China,
Where
like
started.
a big population of those people are older people with like already like like health problems, like pre-existing ones, and a lot of like China has a big area about like lung health, like
Yep.
the air
Yeah.
quality isn't good, so your lungs, because COVID-19 it infects your lung tissues, right? So
Mhm.
people who smoke daily and live in like terrible air like conditions already, like that can affect you a lot. It can make it a lot worse, which is
Right.
why there's
Mhm.
and they also don't have like Wuhan has a pretty good healthcare system in place, but
Yeah.
a lot of people everywhere around the world, they don't have access to that, and a lot and healthcare systems are adjusted to that, adjusted to the fact that not everybody can fit into the system, so they don't worry about the people that can't. Like they only can fit like, oh well, that person can do blah 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 whatever, so we have the supplies and the capabilities of taking care of you.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody gets sick and everybody's like, oh wow, and they like see on the news and they see from like everything telling them that this is serious, you need to go to the doctor, like then you just have hundreds of thousands of people flooding into every worldwide healthcare systems every single day, and they don't have the capabilities to handle that. It's just overflowing them.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
Mhm.
Like most doctors are afraid that because we only have we don't I don't know the exact number, but we have nowhere near amount of like the amount of beds, hospital beds that we should. So there's no way that we could treat everybody that got corona. And
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
our
Well,
supplies are dwindling. Like face masks. That's like you hear about that a lot about how not enough we don't have enough face masks for doctors. So they're going to get
Yep.
sick. And if doctors get sick, that's less people they can treat and one more person that needs to be treated, right?
We
yeah,
actually
yeah.
placed an Amazon order for face masks at my home, and they were just taken completely off of the Amazon account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was completely
Bro.
removed. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you
I
got to
heard
think
about
about this too. It's like, what's gonna happen to the people who have like either pre-existing conditions or like injure themselves during this whole
Yep.
thing, because it's like all the medical staff, all the that stuff is
It'll be
going towards
focused.
fighting
Absolutely.
coronavirus. What's up?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm just
No, it's just fucking scary, really, man. It's like it makes me not want to go outside even more, because it's like I know I'm like I don't want to go skate and then end up like getting hit by a car and then like have to just
Nothing's
chill in the
happening.
bed because like there are no more like beds that I can like in the hospital and shit that I have to
Yep.
fucking be in, bro. It's just-
Yeah, that's exactly like a big part of the reason why they want you to stay indoors, not just to stop the spread, but to stop the flooding of the healthcare system.
that's
What-
one of the
The more
biggest
you
problems.
stay away from situations that you could put yourself in, the more less of a chance of you ending up in the hospital.
And that's
Yeah.
like
Well,
doctors want us to stay inside because of that reason. They're not they're of course afraid that we're going to get it and then get harmed because of it. But it's very big because if you get it and you need to be treated, you're kind of taking up a space for more serious cases of
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he's back.
Nope, he's gone.
Aw.
Yuli. Oh man.
Oh no.
Reconnecting the
stream.
streams out. Yeah. Give it a second.
Oh man.
Oh.
Well, even
Yeah, there I go too. Reconnecting. Damn. Stream difficulties.
So
Okay.
Frank was saying in our group chat earlier, or he said it in the live stream chat actually.
Alright, we're
He was saying
live.
that
We're live now.
we a 17-year-old in Cali died from the coronavirus today.
Did she have any sort of pre-existing conditions, like any sort of chronic
No
issue?
idea.
Was she
He
near
didn't-
Calabasas?
I have no idea. He just said it in the group chat. I didn't, or in
Yeah,
the stream chat.
That's
they
probably
said more the arranged where you can get like a like when we're talking like most people between the age of like 20 like 29 and 0 like already like have like it's only a 0.2% like chance.
Yeah, it's a lot lower.
Well, yeah,
for
but
the
as long
younger
as long
generations.
as it can prove a threat to a younger age group, then it has the possibility of being dangerous. Like we've already seen
Yeah,
it
for
mutate.
sure.
Yeah, like
For
it
sure.
is like, and I feel like like people like just even with that small number, I don't think it's something to panic over, but I think it's
Yep.
something that you definitely should be aware
Recognize.
of.
Definitely
Yes,
recognize.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
So-
we need to be able to handle it before it happens.
Like a
Yeah.
big problem of it is that like mass hysteria and that panic. But I
Yeah.
feel like if you don't just blow off the numbers in either way, like
Right.
I feel like just keep in mind that you yourself are not gonna die. Probably not gonna die.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll
bigger
probably
chance-
end up getting it, but you yourself will not be harmed by
And you
it.
got to realize, most of the people that have it don't even know they have it.
Yeah.
Because
2 week
Sorry,
incubation
minimal.
period.
Yo,
You
hold on.
just-
I think since we're talking about such a sensitive subject, like even though there's no like we have practically no sort of following, I don't think it's that bad to put out a disclaimer. We are not doctors, and we're just a bunch of like people
Yeah.
who like read shit on the internet. So this is like the like don't take anything that we're saying as like fact, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to build off of something Dublin was saying about like the hysteria part.
For sure.
Is that and like the preparation is that Oregon had such a small number of cases, and we started this preparation pretty early. But
Yeah.
that hysteria from the media is what caused those people to just go crazy and buy everything. But like Oregon was pretty prepared for this because of Washington having such a big reaction stuff and how everything happened up there in Seattle. Oregon was like, all right, well, we need to prepare for this. We need to make sure we're ready for this. And they basically said, once Washington goes into lockdown, we're going into lockdown. That's what it was. Seattle went into lockdown Monday of this week or last week, I don't remember. And Oregon went to lockdown right after that. And then another thing is the numbers for Oregon right now, 317 known cases of coronavirus. Okay. And 11 deaths. My friend who is in healthcare, she works at a hospital. She said that for Oregon, like everyone was so worried, like, oh, they're flooding the healthcare system and stuff. But for Oregon, they're actually fine. Like most places around here have open like ERs and everything. Like they're completely fine. But then again, that's just Oregon. There's so many other places that are way worse. But
I mean, you got to really hand to the people who run places like that too, because it's like
100%.
they're pretty much putting their lives on the line. Depending on whether they're like
Mhm.
older, younger, have these like pre-existing diseases or something like that. Because it's like this is dangerous shit that they're getting into. Like I know it's the stuff that they do on a daily, but still, it's dangerous shit. Like in Spain, like I mentioned earlier, some of the public clinics had to close down. So.
Yep.
A lot of the people that like rely on it, which from what I heard was a lot of people who lived in that area, they can't go to see anyone anymore because like 5 of the people who work there actually ended up getting coronavirus. So they're just,
Yep.
Man, it's.
And another thing, a lot of the deaths in Oregon are from the one incident at the old folks home or the veterans home. There was like 5 or 6 deaths from there alone, and that was where the first one was as well. And it's known that this virus is way harder on older people, and so a lot of those deaths are from that. And okay, here reading this, the 11th related death for Oregon was a 69-year-old woman in Washington County. She had an underlying medical condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of
all
the
11 Oregonians to die from coronavirus have had underlying medical conditions. I did not know that.
Wow. Okay, so
Okay, or Colby. Shit.
Yeah.
No, I was just like, you're reading an article right now.
Yeah.
Mr. Moon. Yo, can you just like, out of some sort of morbid curiosity, because I don't know a lot about the 17-year-old girl that Frank was talking about
I
that
will
died
look
of this
it up. Yep.
virus, and I think this is something that maybe would be really important to kind of like
touch up
listen to, because it's like, look, we're like ranging from like 18 to like we're pretty much in that age range, and then so like
I'm looking up the article right now.
she didn't have.
while you look that up, I had a little something to add on to the hysteria part. I think this was the worst time to get caught up in this freak out, in this panic of everyone freaking out about the disease, is because we also have the election happening right now, and we're having a lot of problems with our president, with our presidency, who we want next. Like it's getting really aggressive, and this add-on of a disease was definitely not boosting it.
Yeah.
So I think. Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah. I feel like.
I was gonna say.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like that just switches like an entire dynamic of the election. Like instead of like focusing on some things you would have or I would have liked to have seen discussed or debated, it's now just going to be centered around who would do a better job in this situation.
Right.
You know, that kind
Everything's about they're trying to make the topic more on coronavirus because it's such a big thing to deal with. So now, you know, you're stuck in your house. There's like we clearly see evidence of each side playing a role and saying things about coronavirus. It is over the top and it's extremist. So they're trying to freak you out, clearly by both sides.
Well, I mean, it is a major thing, and we're afraid. Like as someone pointed out earlier, we're afraid of like anything that's new, any change. So it's like, of course, they're gonna go and take this into some extreme territory because it's like
right. Because we haven't seen it in so long.
Deadly, bro. Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been so long since we've seen something this crazy that it's considered as new to us, so we're freaking out about it.
Yeah.
Okay, to go back to the California case. So I found an article, and this is what it says.
Right.
Basically, the kid was a 17-year-old boy, and I'll just read the article. It's exactly what it said. So let's see where it starts. The Los Angeles County Department of Public Health attributed his death to coronavirus Tuesday. Later that evening, officials backpedaled, saying his case needs more review by the Federal Centers of Disease Control, CDC. The teen's case has grown more complicated between local and county officials. Let's see. All right, here's the part. When the teen became ill, his parents took him to urgent care center and were turned away because he didn't have health insurance, Paris said. He'd been taken to the emergency room at a local hospital. The teen was tested for coronavirus at a hospital, and when the results came out, his parents were also told they were infected with the virus but had not been tested. In a statement Tuesday night, the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health is looking into the case further. The early cases indicate a positive result for COVID-19. The case is complex, and there may be an alternate explanation for its fatality. That's the gist of it.
Wow.
Wow. The thing is that, which is like, you know, you said that Jackson said that this is really kind of inconvenient time for this, but like, let's not forget, you know, there's a lot of these deaths that are happening. But let's not forget, dude, this is flu season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
So it's like that could be kind of another thing that's that. I mean, you know, flu season doesn't usually come with this much,
hysteria.
You know, a lot of deaths and stuff like that. But deaths still happen. So I mean, you could probably, man, dude, I feel like I'm kind of an asshole by just saying like.
Well, no, you're right. It is a time.
Such a light, bro.
Yeah. Well, right. Like this is a time where you're not as immune to getting a disease. Like a lot of people are getting the flu, which means things are more unsanitary and you're much more likely to get this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just builds up on top of people freaking out about it.
I agree.
For sure.
So you're definitely right, Robert.
Yeah.
Dude, this is just, it's crazy to think how fucking real this shit is, man. It's
I know
like, living in a fucking movie, bro. it's not.
Seriously,
It
that's what it
doesn't
feels
seem
like.
it's real.
Can you
I feel like
believe a few years ago we were saying things were really boring?
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember saying that too. I was like, man,
Yeah,
like
I
life
kinda
seems
think
very
we
boring.
bit ourselves in the ass on this one.
Yeah, that was a bit of a comment. like people literally think due to like the locust thing that's been happening
Yeah.
and with the disease, people think that like biblically the
world.
apocalypse is coming. Yeah,
Yeah.
Armageddon shit.
There's a lot of
That's
that.
kind of
I think there's a
crazy.
lot of thinking of
I think that goes to the-
biblical times, right?
I don't believe any of
Biblical
that, of course. Like
Like
at all.
Papa
Like,
John's
I think it's very.
Reckoning Day.
I think it's Papa John's. I think it's very interesting. It's definitely very, very interesting. Do you guys
Yeah.
want to move on to the next question? We have a couple more.
Actually,
Yeah.
there was one thing I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So let's think of it this way. All right, so China has about like 1 billion points something, 1 billion points 5 maybe. I don't fucking know. They have over 1 billion people living there,
Yeah.
and they've pretty much gone and from what I've heard, and I may be wrong about this, they've gone and they haven't like 100% turned it around, but they've lowered the amount of cases, and it's kind of somewhat getting better over there.
Yeah.
And let's think about this: like, how long has it been since the first, since it was like officially released that this whole thing was happening? Like, when was that? I forget. That was
It was January. So the first case was here. I have the numbers here somewhere.
and by the way, Robert, it was 1,300,000,000.
1,300,000,000.
Colby's our numbers guy, bro.
I got you, bro.
That was Jackson, bro.
That was me,
All right,
bro.
I'm gonna go take a piss real quick.
All right. I knew it was gonna happen.
Bro, take it
Holy
easy.
shit!
Dude, I have so much food. I'm just like sitting here. I'm like completely decked out and ready to
No,
go.
man, dude, I'm here with like well, my point is that I'm wondering if they've kind of gone and it's been like a fucking a couple months, like 2 months or something like that. And they've been able to like kind of flatten the curve in that time. I
Mhm.
wonder maybe we would be able to do that here in about the same time, because maybe
Yes.
because like we have a smaller population. Do we have a smaller population?
Yes, we do. But
Yeah, we do.
But the only thing is that because of how resilient Americans are, it's not possible. That
Right,
is
yeah.
the only reason. Americans are very like, this is a free country.
We're
Sorry.
gonna do our own thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry to bother you, but yeah, fuck
I think-
you. Yeah,
I
like
think
that's just the American way.
And I think that's
Yeah.
there's a big problem in that, right? Is they're like
I love that.
because I think we're so used to our freedom that, hey, I'm gonna after school I'm gonna go buy a hamburger at Ridge Rocket, right?
Yep.
Right.
We have that
Oof.
freedom, and that being stripped away by or from the government, and that sounds bad, but it's for a good cause, right? That being stripped away so suddenly, right, just out of the blue, like it felt like it was out of the blue, right? Even though we knew it was coming, it just makes it seem like
Bruh,
apocalyptic.
Mid-sentence.
you shouldn't be hosting.
All right, I'm back.
Apocalyptic.
Yuli's dying, bro.
Dude, we're bugging out, bro.
Yuli's dying.
It's
Apocalyptic.
back. We're back.
There we go. All
No,
right.
wait, not
I'm
yet.
just
Not
saying.
yet. Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
I'm just saying though, Yuli. Next time someone else is streaming
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
goddamn.
But
We're gonna have
We're
to have
good now.
Max.
Fuck,
or
what were we
fucking
no,
saying?
we're
What were we
offline.
saying?
But
What
we
were
got
we
on
saying
Max
though?
with this.
Yeah, Max, just have him record. He's not even like talking. He's just streaming it for us.
Just said,
No,
like, he wouldn't
oh,
mind. He wouldn't even mind. He wouldn't even
No, he
mind.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's like Max is a real G like that.
Oh no.
Bro.
We're having extreme key difficulties.
Wait. What were we talking about though?
You were talking about how just kind of the difference between the Chinese culture and
we're live,
American
we're
culture
live.
in
We're
a
back.
ways.
We are back.
Well, yeah, like we're so.
Like,
Sorry, would you like to go, Robert?
No, bro, it's all you, bro.
Well, we're so like we see it online on YouTube. You just see videos of, for instance, like people can't even answer a question from the police officers. Like
Yep.
a nigga will try to beat the shit out of a police officer for asking him a question, or like get offended.
because
people are so
of the
easily
media.
offended because of the media and because of their own freedom. Like we have so much freedom more than we think we do, and we complain all the time. We're like children who just keep wanting more toys. Like at some point we have to understand that we have to abide by these rules, or else things are already getting dangerous. Like we see
exactly.
New
It's
York.
like it's like me like being like, mom, buy me a Nerf gun. She buys me
Right.
the wrong fucking one, so I shoot her in the
Fuck
eye.
you,
She
Mom.
takes it away. Like, fuck you.
Wrong Nerf gun,
Oh yeah,
bitch.
speaking
Dude,
of
that just gives me
moms,
flashbacks. Bro.
Cameron's mom.
Cameron's mom.
No, guys.
We are live.
Wait,
We are
we're
live.
Okay,
We're
and
live.
Okay.
if its mom is
Cameron.
watching, even better.
No,
I hope his mom's watching, bro.
Okay, all right. Listen, lads. Do you guys want to take callers?
I'd add
what?
you down.
You guys,
Wait,
so we
Someone
just like
said
add,
that in the
we
chat
just
a
add
while
them to the
ago,
group
yeah.
chat.
Sure.
for
Someone
hot
said that in the
minutes.
chat.
I don't want to fucking. I don't want to fucking.
Yeah, they did that
No.
before. You don't want
That
to?
sounds like a terrible idea.
No, not yet.
Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
Nah, fuck that.
Nah,
What do
I'm
you
sorry,
mean?
my good
Let's
sir.
just hear what they have to say.
This is it. This is
Nah,
America.
Okay, let's do it at the
Yeah.
end.
This is a
Let's do it at the
private
end.
web
Lads,
browser. All right.
let's do it at the end. How about that?
This is a private
That's
bet.
true.
All right, it's
Sure,
official.
I'm all right with that.
All right, we're
I
taking
don't get to
callers
have
at
an
the
opinion on our show.
end.
We'll here. How about this? In 20 minutes, we'll take callers.
In 20
Well,
minutes,
that's what
we're
we
taking
should do
callers.
with comments when we get bigger.
Are we
should
really
do,
gonna
for
get any
streaming
callers?
comments.
There's no way.
Dude, people
Yeah,
actually want to.
Let's read
There
the
was a bunch of
chat.
people
Let's
saying
read
they
the
wanted to.
chat. See what the chat has to
All right,
say.
sick.
Not a whole
Chat's
lot. I can't hear.
Chat's a bunch of Jews.
Those are old, Yubi. Those are your old.
Yeah,
say
these are
that.
old. Okay, we're good. Nothing, pretty much. So, all right, let's continue. You guys want to move on to the
Good.
next question?
I had the date for when the first case was. The
Yes,
first case
let's use that.
was
Let's use that.
December 31st is when it was discovered, and then the first death was January 11th.
December 31st is when it was publicly known, or
No, well, I mean it was, but it was like they didn't know what the virus was.
because here's what I know from it. I remember. Sorry, I got some shit on me right now, but
You got Cheerios?
nah, dude, just those little nerd things, bro.
Homemade
Hell
cookies.
yeah.
Keep going.
No, all I remember about it was that there was a scientist that came out to do it, and then he was like silenced, like he was dead in a matter of days.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about North Korea though?
Oh,
Yeah, I
they
really straight up
shot-
shot
About the
dude.
Shoot the
31st
people,
person?
man.
Well, no.
Not here,
Whoa,
bro.
listen, dude, this
No,
dude-
that wasn't true.
were
They
just
had
like,
they had 30 cases, and the 31st person decided to be a dickhead.
Yep.
Not listen to quarantine rules, so he spread it everywhere. Just him.
Yep, and then they shot him.
Yeah.
Honestly, good for Kim Jong Un.
He's like, fun title. So
All
I
right.
feel like the more I talk about this, the more I feel like my throat is just getting sore from disease.
All right, listen. We're gonna move on. Okay, we've been on this
Okay.
topic for a long time. So,
That's
Yeah,
all right.
What?
For an hour, dude.
what is
All right,
the,
anyone who had an opinion on that, fuck you. We're done.
What's the worst case scenario for what's going on? Do you think? So,
Wait a second.
I'll start. So, there's a lot of financial problems. Okay, so I think societal collapse is gonna be the worst. Society. So societal collapse would probably be
We
worst.
live in a
And
society.
where the government completely fails and the people just like your classic apocalyptic event, hoarding,
We just
raiding,
need to have the purge.
the purge, bro.
purge.
But
Get another
definite
Dick
purge
Maury.
Exactly. All crime is legal forever.
forever until the government regains a power. But
Exactly.
yeah, what do you
They
guys
have
think
to
the
prove
worst?
to us that they
I think we'll hold on.
On
I actually
current
have a
track,
little.
what's the worst case scenario for us?
I think that Yuli, I don't think you're being unrealistic. I just think it's a little like seemingly over the top. I
It
think
seems pretty
yeah.
dramatic. Yeah, and that yeah,
Right.
for
Like
sure.
I think if
I'm not saying that's gonna happen.
if shit kicks the bucket, bro, if the shit that the 2 girls 1 cup shit in the bucket with hits the floor, then basically I think like we're all gonna end up trying to separate ourselves. Like we see China has bricks like blocking off the openings to separate towns. Like we'll all start living in way more seclusion, probably in groups. I wouldn't be surprised if we start living in like separate groups, but not maybe in towns, but farther out in different areas. But I don't think our whole society will just collapse. I think that's unrealistic. I think
No, I'm not
things
saying
would
that. I
things
wasn't
would be
saying
much
that
more
that's what's
strict.
now.
I
Well,
wasn't gonna.
actually,
I wasn't
think
saying
there is
that
going to
that's-
be some new societal norms, bro.
Okay, so what I
Well,
was saying.
yeah, but I'm not saying like it's gonna just come tumbling down.
So
Yeah.
no, I'm not
Well,
saying that that's gonna happen. I'm saying that's like the worst case scenario. If
Okay.
shit really hits the fans, that's what's gonna happen.
Let's put it this way. All right. If you're talking worst case scenario, all of them are going to be fucking over the top. Let's just be real here.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, okay, so I don't know if you
Don't
guys
Jesus come down and the Armageddon kicks in and
So I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but like, I know Jackson, it might have been Jackson, Yuli, and Dublin. We were on Discord and we were talking about this like last week. And I asked, how far back is this going to take us?
Yeah, I
You guys
remember
Oh,
that.
that's right.
Dude, actually, I have something to say
So I
about
don't think
that.
it's gonna. I don't think. Okay, I'll let you go
Let me
next,
see.
Patty. So I don't think it's gonna take us back as much as it's just gonna
Just cock
stop us
block,
dead
Patty.
in our track. Yeah, I did. As much as it's just gonna stop us dead in our tracks, you know, where we're not gonna make any progress and just
Dude,
focus
it's
all
weird.
of our energy on this. All right, Patty was next.
Yo, so hold on. I will
Fuck
actually.
you, Robert. Patty was next.
Yo, really interrupted me, bro. All right.
No,
I was
Patty
gonna say
was next,
something.
bro. Patty was
That's-
next.
Patty is
All right, fine.
next.
Patty.
Patty, go.
Patty,
go.
you
Fine.
go. Patty, go.
Patty,
Shut
this
up,
is your
Robert.
chance.
Shut up, Robert.
Okay.
We haven't heard from you in a while.
Are you-
But anyways, I think that what's gonna happen is that now that we're getting like closed off from China and we're having shortages because of that, I think what's gonna happen is that people are gonna get fed up with importing all this shit, and I think it's gonna like bring a lot of the production back to domestic markets, not just in America, but just around the world. And we're gonna start making our own. Like countries are gonna make their own industry instead of outsourcing it now.
No,
I think that's really good. That
I think
brings
that's a good
jobs.
thing.
It heightens our economy, and
Not necessarily.
well, not
but-
as much,
I mean,
right?
yeah,
But
not necessarily, and it'll also like affect our relationships with foreign countries more because
Especially
we'll
China.
have less to offer
especially
and
China.
less to receive.
And that would be a
So
problem
we
because
won't-
we already have, because of the whole capitalism communism thing, we kind of have bad relations except for trade. Like we only have good relations with them because of our trade. And I think if we lose that, we're losing a very
And even with
vital-
our trade
we're losing-
relations, like they've never been that good, especially in the past few years. Like,
for sure.
I feel like one of the biggest thing, like one of the most essential pieces of global economy is that trade. I feel like that
Yeah.
it will boost, a lot of countries' economy when it's just, home soil production. But I feel like I said, it will affect our relationships with other countries. Like I don't need to have this good, communication and this great, relationship with this company, country because, they don't have anything that I need. I don't need them. I don't need to have this relationship. So I think maybe I think global relationships as countries might fall apart a little because they won't be necessary.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to take callers now?
Yeah, sure.
I think that's-
Dude, I'm
Make it,
I
make
don't
it
wanna-
5 minutes.
we have-
Make it 5 minutes. Like make
I
it like
just
at least
dumped-
5 minutes.
I just
So okay,
dumped
listen. So we
checks
have
mix
one more
everywhere.
question. It's a pretty big question, so I want to save that as our grand finale.
All right.
All
You
right,
guys looking
sick.
dogs, yeah. So let's
What
take
the fuck
callers.
did you just call me?
All right, let's
So,
take. We'll now have
Right,
callers.
chat, lads, chat.
Yeah. Does anyone want to come in?
Yeah,
That's
you wanna
alright.
come
Who
on?
wants to get in the
Drop
chat?
in
with the-
I hope
chat,
not. I
guys.
hate you
Nope.
all.
Drop in
Boys,
chat. We're
I
taking.
just spilt my Chex Mix everywhere. I'm very sad.
What do you
Good.
call?
Good. You
Discord.
should be on the floor. You shouldn't even eat
K-Man,
it.
K-Man,
Trash.
we're
Fuck
through
off.
Discord. So drop your Discord tag.
Drop your Discord tag,
Drop your
please.
Discord tag in the chat.
How do you call?
How do-
Just remember.
No, I don't
Just
really
remember,
want
if I
to, so
don't
no.
like you, I will kick
So
you.
no.
No, I don't really want
Wait,
to.
Yuli, is that your
holding the
girlfriend in
right-
the chat, Yuli?
Oh no.
Oh
God.
fuck. Oh fuck.
No.
Oh
No.
my
Your
god.
girlfriend in the
No.
chat, you.
Oh damn.
Oh
Dude,
my
I will,
god.
I will
you-
smooch
Cringe.
I'll be right back,
each
boys.
and every one.
Shout out to Nia for being the cringiest girl I know.
Mm.
Have you guys ever heard of Freddie Dredd?
Shut up! Shut up!
You know
Oh,
what I'm
shut
so
up.
tired of? I'm so tired of
Josiah.
all these like these fucking
Josiah.
bitches. Just like the only like thing they listen to is Freddie Dredd, and they think they're so
I know.
hard for that.
I know.
I'm like, dude, I'm done. I'm done with this
Listen
shit.
to
Like,
anyone
wait,
else
what?
on
I
the
didn't
Doom
even
Shop
listen to the
label.
collabs he did with.
If you're
fucking-
gonna
don't
listen
even
to
like
Doom
him.
Shop,
Listen
at
to
least
Soulja.
like go a little deep. Oh my god.
Yeah, like go listen to Baker or someone. Like, come
Go
on.
listen to some Cursed.
Dude, I would rather like just jam to Devilish Trio like 24/7 than like listen to like Freddie Dredd songs on repeat for like half an hour.
Listen, how do we
It's-
get
they're
from
terrible.
Corona
They're
to
terrible.
Doom?
Oh my god.
Dude,
Because Freddie Dredd's just bad now. It's just terrible.
He's oversaturized. Like the complete, just like I get that like people are gonna be like, oh, it's just because you know you like the underground aesthetic. Like, yeah, but it's like
We like the actual
it's
record
just because
label.
I like the authenticity, you know, not like the sellout shit.
I don't even think
like
it's
no
really-
one makes music like Soulja does, dude. Like,
Yeah,
like
you know, I like that like you know Southern funk vibe. Like that's
I don't even
that's what
understand.
I
I don't
enjoy.
even like think Freddie Dredd. In my mind, he's not really that underground anymore, man. Once he got those all
oh yeah, he's definitely.
hot girls and shit, fucking like playing his music, that was just the end of it, bro.
Once he started
Yeah.
dating that porn star, is it?
Wait, seriously?
Oh yeah, dude. He has a porn star girl.
Why would you want to date a porn star, dude?
bruh.
Like
I wouldn't either.
that would crush my self-esteem.
Didn't Ida?
Just-
Wasn't Ida
Okay,
dating
hold up.
E-girl?
Yeah, he's dating some like why would you want to fucking date a porn
All right, do you
star?
guys want to
Like,
move on to
I
the
don't
next
know.
question? We kind of drifted from Corona to
No.
Doom Shop.
Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, let's
sure,
just,
do it.
let's just. It's all right. We're good.
uh,
No, let's do
I
it.
still wanna
Let's
talk
do it.
about
What's the
porn
next topic?
stars.
I just don't want to talk about coronavirus anymore. Not gonna.
What's the next
Shut
topic?
up.
At least?
It's so boring.
Well, we're
Shut the
almost
fuck-
done with the. It's not like this is going to go on for 3 hours. We have
Okay,
one more
okay, cock.
question.
Okay, cock.
We have one
Okay.
more question, and then we're ending the podcast.
What the fuck?
Shut the fuck up, you.
Shut up, damn it!
How long have we been doing this?
What the fuck just happened?
An hour,
You
Patty.
don't want to do this anymore.
Only an
Get out
hour,
of here,
bruh.
Patty. You're playing Enter the Gungeon. Get your ass out of here, bruh. Go play Gungeon.
You gotta fucking. Goddamn.
God damn. Alright.
All right, what's the next question? Unless you like cut out again.
Shut up.
Well, I may be a
Alright.
virgin, but at least I don't have dry lips. Don't try to lick them.
Dry lip having ass.
Dry
Alright,
lips.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Dry
I'll
lips
take
having
it.
ass.
Dry lips
I'll
having
take it.
ass.
I'll take it. You know what? I'm proud of my dry lips, you asshole.
You try to lick, don't
Shut
try to
up.
lick them. Dry lips
Stop.
Don't lick them
Don't
now,
lick them
boy.
now, Lamar.
Don't
Don't
lick
lick
them
them
now.
Alright,
No, bro.
lads.
I
Okay,
swear.
we're gonna
The entire
say.
time we were playing TF2, he was licking his lips.
What are your
Oh,
numbers,
K-Man
K-Man?
dropped his.
Are
oh.
those your numbers too? Here, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna add you, brother.
Yeah.
Okay, add the dude to the call.
K-Man.
Yeah.
God, I'm gonna kill myself.
This is gonna be bad.
Just know I will exercise the right to kick you from this fucking
Dude,
group.
yeah, if you're cringe, we're kicking you, bro.
Yeah,
Cringe,
that's
dude.
just right out the
Dude,
bat.
Oh, okay,
Absolute
you
cringe,
drop your
boy.
numbers,
Back
bro.
outta here.
You know how there's a hashtag? You gotta.
Those
drop
are
your-
his
Yeah,
numbers.
drop your
5566.
No, they're not. I tried.
Oh.
That is a Molly boy.
You fucking stupid.
So it's K-Man 5566.
It's
I
a
think I
fucking
want
eye,
to
boy.
avoid this entire conversation completely. Oh god.
Nah.
No.
We should have a Molly Boys topic later.
No, we should.
Later,
Alright,
later,
yeah.
not right now.
That's-
Yep. Honestly, yeah.
Not this stream. All right.
Just want to beat
We're-
some ass, bro.
We're gonna finish.
Hey,
our
we
Corona
might. You
topic.
never know.
We're
This
gonna
might
finish
go
our
a different
Corona
way.
All right.
I mean, we
Go
did.
way
We
too,
were
bro.
planning on like only having it like around an hour, and like the half of that, like a majority of that, was just about Corona.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. That's
Yeah.
boring.
And
No,
I'm
I'm
back.
totally
and
down
I'm back.
taking this
And I'm back.
longer.
And I'm gonna
I'm
say
into
the
it.
question.
Yeah, where's all the talk about pussy and bitches, bro?
all right. Can we All right, let's just
Important
finish.
things.
Let's finish this off. We are currently on track for the
I
worst.
thought you had a topic.
Yes, I was talking.
No one heard it. Oh my god, you're a fucking cyborg.
All right, K-Man. Let's take K-Man before we start this, okay? K-Man.
Alright,
5566.
caveman, come on.
It came into the thing, bro. Come on.
80804. All right, K-Man.
Alright,
Didn't
caveman.
work. 5566 number 8.
Imagine not knowing your Discord tag.
Oh,
bruh.
8044. 8044. That worked. All right, add us back. Add us back,
The man in
K-Man.
the car.
All right, get the man in the call. Get the man in the call. If you're a woman, I will kick you from this group.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Just know,
All right,
just be
what's up?
warned.
What's up, K-Man?
Wait, guys, my mom wants to hop in the chat, dude.
Oh,
All right,
unmute yourself.
unmute your mic.
Unmute your mic and let's hear what
It's
you
a
have to
woman.
say. Kick him quick, if anything bad. You know.
You can unmute your mic.
Unmute your mic, buddy. Come on.
Come on, K-Man. And
Oh.
he's gone.
Oh,
Oh.
God.
All right, see about what?
Our first
Why
guest.
the? Okay.
He couldn't unmute himself in time.
Uh,
All right, Bodie.
Oh,
What do you
he
have to
doesn't know
say?
how to work the mic.
unmute
Hell,
your
this guy
mic.
doesn't know how to work the mic.
You got 10 seconds.
There we go.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right,
Oh
K-Man.
my lord.
It's Caleb.
What's up, Caleb?
Oh, God.
What do you got to say?
I just fucking unmuted it.
What do you got to say,
Caleb
Caleb?
Mossberger?
Oh, wait.
What?
What?
Caleb is
muted.
this?
Yeah, which Caleb?
Please cut him
I
out
agree.
now.
I like that.
Can't
Caleb.
even hear him.
Monty's
No,
the
you
only
fucking
relevant
Caleb.
Caleb.
Oh, Monty.
Caleb
Okay.
Monty. Okay.
Hi, I love you. I love you.
Dude.
Oh,
Oh, Caleb
Ben's
Mossy.
little brother,
Yo.
dude. What's up, bro?
No,
I'm
not that
not
one.
Ben's little brother.
Hey, Caleb.
Caleb
Caleb
Mossy,
Monty's little
bro.
brother.
Yo,
Hello.
what's good?
All right, what do you got to say?
Caleb Mossbarger? Yes.
What's
he-
good?
Bud.
All right.
Oh,
No, I'm not
Monty.
Monty.
Okay, guys, I have a question. I have a question for Caleb.
Okay.
Caleb,
Mhm.
opinions on sex. Go.
Opinion of sex.
Very good. Very nice. Haven't done it maybe twice.
All
Haven't
right,
done
all
it
right.
yet.
That
What the
rhymed.
fuck?
All non-virgins
That
are
rhymed.
being
That
kicked
rhymed. I
from
like
the
that.
chat.
Oh, yeah. All sinners, get out.
All citizens, get the fuck out.
Yeah,
Sorry,
if you have
Caleb.
sex,
married,
get out.
fuck.
Yeah, you have
Get
sex.
out.
Get out.
Caleb, did you have a topic?
I mean, I had some opinions on the coronavirus, but you guys already moved on. So.
No. Let's hear him.
Well, yeah, you can.
Let's hear
We still have a
Kick
question.
him.
Well, I mean, my opinion is I think it's a little bit of an overreaction as of right now, but we also need to bunker down because shit's gonna
Cringe.
get a lot worse if we don't like start controlling it.
Snore.
On top of the
Move
fact,
him.
I
Get
think
him out
that
of here.
countries
Get him out
like
of here.
I think
Get him outta
countries
here.
like America, China are gonna start taking over because little countries' economies are gonna crash and they won't be able to handle
Well,
themselves.
he's right. He's right. We're already seeing China take over in movie industries.
Exactly.
That's for
So I
sure.
think like smaller companies like Japan and South Korea and North Korea are gonna start getting taken over by China, possibly Russia. Russia's gonna control Syria probably completely,
Yeah, we have
and America's gonna have to start making moves.
Right.
Yeah,
There will be a big territory switch.
Oh,
Exactly.
100%.
I was wondering if this was gonna make China like the world's like leading like superpower after this whole thing's over.
Well, I mean, think about how much influence they already have over so many big time corporations.
I know, yeah,
They're
but
the biggest
like,
trade.
after push, I feel
Bro,
like that
that's
could kind of
Blizzard,
already.
dude.
What?
All right, Caleb, I have a question for you.
Already.
Do you like cum? Yes or
Oh
no?
my god.
I
Do
have a
like,
question.
Come?
I have a question. What shape is Italy?
Okay.
What?
What shape is
you
Italy?
cut out?
What shape is Italy?
A boot.
Get him out. Out.
A boot.
Out. Gone.
Who kicked him? God, it's fucking tough.
That was an accidental. That was a misclick.
Oh my bad,
My
bro.
My bad.
Dude, he's gonna leave.
Well,
a bad
thanks
review,
for
man.
hopping on the call, Caleb.
Yeah,
Thanks for
Yeah.
your time.
Thanks for your
Alright,
time. After
Let's
fucking
hunker
kicked you.
down and let's finish this, okay?
What's the last topic?
All right.
Let's finish with a song.
Shut the fuck up,
Alright.
Robert.
We are currently on track for the
Fuck you,
worst.
Jackson.
We are currently on track for the worst economic crisis in human history. We have proportionally lost
This
more
is
money
the
in the
last
stock market
topic.
in
This is the
5
last
weeks.
topic.
I'm gonna leave this shit, and the stream is done. Let's
Sorry,
finish
it's
it.
just my fucking ringtone.
We are currently on track for the worst economic crisis in human history. We have proportionally lost more money in the stock market in 5 weeks than we did in 15 weeks during the Great Depression. Do you guys think that it'll crash that much to the point, like, of the Great Depression, or do you think we'll turn around?
Oh, of course. I think there's a huge possibility that we could get to that point. Like
Yeah.
we've had like some of the biggest drops in stocks in our entire history as a country.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
I'm gonna pull
You know,
up
I
a
think there's a-
graph.
I think like I think like a massive, part of that is like, the way our economy works is like we have to put trust in the banks, right?
For sure.
And when people see numbers dropping, they panic again and they're like, oh, yes, I would like to take all my money out of my bank, right? And and so when one person does it, monkey see, monkey do, and everybody starts doing it. So
Toilet paper.
yeah,
He's right though.
As like
That makes me wonder.
people lose faith in the fucking in our own economy. When people lose that faith, it doesn't work. It's like simple as believing
Sure.
is kind of seeing. Like if you believe and actually like try to put effort into boosting our economy, then it will happen.
Yeah.
Sure. I pulled up a graph for you guys to look at. I'm gonna show.
I think, yeah, like he's right. So in the beginning of all this freak out, of all this hysteria, people were mad because a lot of officials were trying to say that like they were trying to calm everyone down by saying like, oh, things are going to be okay. You just have to take the correct precautions. Like people were saying and clearly saying, you just have to take the correct precautions and keep yourself clean and safe.
Mhm.
But we see these people who, even in that case, even when it's said to them, which is funny because like people, like for instance, you can see advertisements of people selling cars and saying, "Come buy this car," and people will come buy the car. But even though it's on TV and it's placed by the news, they told us what to do and they told us to be safe, and yet we still, representing how American we are, didn't listen to them. Fucking Miami Beach college students are out partying. A lot of people like there was a guy who was arrested for licking everything at Walmart. Did you guys hear about that?
Oh yeah, I fucking saw that. That was disgusting.
Yeah,
you can get charged with terrorism for that.
yeah.
What?
Like people
Jesus.
are clearly being stupid. They're reacting to this in attempting to become famous. It's like we're treating it like we've been treating everything for the past 3 years, like it's a meme.
Right.
They're just like memeing the shit out of this shit, dude. When in reality, this is something that's fucking serious, man. Like as much as I love going on Instagram and fucking around, like this isn't something that we can really in the end go and like try to do one of those quote unquote social experiments around, bro. Just like
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can't just drop the meme and be like, okay, all right, time to fix this.
All right, like I understand why that's like amusing and why that's appealing to meme about it. You're just like, why do you joke about anything? They say like laughter is the best medicine, and I think that's true. Like, I don't think it's a good idea to take light of things or like in such a way that we don't think it's serious at all. I think it's important to look at things in a more positive light, not making fun of like, the situation and like, cause there are people that are even more seriously affected than you are by the situation.
100%.
Maybe not because they're infected, but because, they, can't get legitimately can't get the supplies they need. They're out of a job right now. Like you should think about those people when you joke about that kind of stuff because like I think it's great. And you know what, I think honestly I think a lot of the memes are funny. I laugh at them, whatever. And I think a big part of that is because I'm not necessarily so affected by it compared to other people where I can be like, yeah, that's funny and blah blah blah, whatever. So I think it's important to take in mind like when you do laugh at these things, like it's like you should probably keep in mind of like the people who are less fortunate.
Well, something to add on to that, Dublin, like people, they say laughter is the best medicine. Like 9/11, like for instance 9/11, you can joke about 9/11, no one's gonna I know it's funny, right? You laugh about it. You laugh when you hear 9/11 because so many jokes are made about 9/11.
You just went from 0 to 100, bro.
I know, but it's like
9/11.
it's an old event and everyone can joke about 9/11 now and no one minds.
Yeah, fuck the people
So after
9/11 ground zero,
Well, yeah, but like laughter is the best medicine over time. So all the people who have experienced it have made themselves capable to laugh about 9/11 jokes because it happened so long ago. Like people make jokes about the Black Plague or the Spanish flu because it happened so long ago and it's in the past and it doesn't matter now. But people are making jokes about Corona right now while it's happening. Is the issue.
Yeah. I think it's important to like, laugh and like, cheer yourself up, but not desensitize yourself from the situation.
Right.
Like,
Still
keep your humanity.
I don't want to block you guys.
I
But...
think I have an explanation for why.
Go ahead, Robert.
Bro, I just got one thing to say, dude. Okay.
Go ahead.
So laughter. Okay. Hold on. All right. So laughter in a lot of cases can
Okay.
What?
be like.
He died.
All right. Should I just do this? Should I just,
No,
should I just
Robert,
do
you're
this
kind
shit?
of dying.
Fucking.
All right, I'm doing it. I'm just gonna do this. All right. So as we can see, and he's gone.
Oh god! All right. Oh shit.
No, he removed him.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. So let's.
But
okay. This is the very first 3 months of the start of the Great Depression. Okay. So in the first month we dropped.
right.
400.
That's the other thing we have to consider.
And the second.
Is like
in the
we're
second
not even.
month. Wait. In the second month we
What?
dropped about 1,000, and in the third month we dropped 2,000. Okay. And that's pretty steep
Nope.
for that time. That's
Yeah.
that much proportional. That's like what?
Yeah.
What is that? 10% or 20? Yeah, 10% in
It's
the
20%,
first
I
3
think.
months. Over here, we have lost 20% in the first 1 month. 1 month. Look at that.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. We went from 28 to 22
Oh my god.
from
He's
January in 3
fucking
months.
laggy.
Yeah.
Lag.
Well, it's laggy for you guys, so shut up. It's not laggy for everyone. I'll
I'm
give you a
actually not even. I
smooch.
can still hear him.
I can't.
Look, so
can't.
from February to March, we lost 3,000. What?
Dude, okay. I'm just saying, really, that the stream keeps lagging like a lot.
That's okay. I mean, it's not okay. It'll be better on YouTube.
Should we just end it here?
It'll be better
Since
on
we're kind of
YouTube.
like, or is there more shit?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll just, you guys don't know, I don't know, because we can upload it and it won't be laggy on YouTube.
I mean, yeah. Let's just end it. Since we're having such technical difficulties, we'll take up this topic at the beginning of our next podcast, which we should do
Yeah.
next week, the same day.
Maybe
We'll
next week.
probably
Coronavirus.
whenever we feel like it.
Yeah,
Maybe
it'll be
tomorrow,
random. We'll
maybe in
let
2
everyone
days,
know.
Maybe next week.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll let everyone
So-
know when we'll do it next.
When we have
Tell your
time
friends. Tell
figured
your
out,
friends.
we'll have
Tell
everything
your
ready.
mom, tell your dad, tell your cat.
Yeah, tell
Tell
all
your
your
cat.
friends about the Flockcast. Just don't remember.
Yeah.
Yo,
I mean, what?
Send cat pics to us.
Yeah, and
Okay.
also we'll set up a Flockcast Instagram so you can DM
Also,
us.
any
cat
single
pics.
women out there, make sure.
Shut
to
up,
hit us
Dublin.
up.
Shut the fuck up,
shut
Dublin.
up.
We're all
Shut
one
up, Dublin. Shut up, Dublin. You're a
Become
loser,
part of the
bitch. Shut the fuck
Flock
up,
family.
Dublin. What are you, a Molly boy? What are you,
Oh,
a Molly
shit.
boy?
Become part
Shut
And we're
up.
ending the
Cock.
stream.
Alright.
Okay. Bye.
Have a good night,
Shut up,
everyone.
Dublin.
This
Part of
shit'll
the
be on
Flock
YouTube.
family.
This shit'll be on
Become-
YouTube.
Yep.
Yo.
All right.
Be
Bye.
part of the Flock family.
yes.
Join us.
Exactly.
Alright,
Join us.
and the stream is stopped.
Guys,
Alright,
I
good
actually think we
job.
should do a set day.